Hi folks, what I'm going to show you today is how to remove the copper out from a starter armature. So here's one here, it's ready to be worked at further. I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare this piece here to get it to look like that piece. You can see the difference in looks. Well, this piece here needs to look just like that one. And how I'm going to do that is that, well, I'm going to slip this in my wood stove and let the heat do the rest. And what the heat's going to do is it's going to actually take away everything that makes the copper tight. And once I get this piece here looking like this piece here, I'll come back in the video and do some further explaining of what the next step is. Until then, folks. Okay, well, I'm back with the armature. I'll finish this process within that heat source. And the reason for the heat source is that all the shellac needs to be basically burnt off in order to free up the copper that's within the armature. If you don't do that, it's really difficult pulling the wire, the copper through them holes, the slots. So the next process after it's been all the shellac's been removed is that along the edge, the steel edge, and only on the side that the brushes would be at, needs to be cut right here. How it's cut doesn't matter. Myself, I use a zip cut. In case no one knows what a zip cut is, it's one of these. It's a very thin cutting wheel and it lasts a long time. So cutting about 5 or 6 of these, this here barely even gets wore down. So it goes a long way. You could use a hacksaw, will work. Any method whatsoever that gets this cut, it needs to get cut. And only the brush side. To cut the other side, it's a waste of time. It's just the brush side that needs to be cut. Keep that in mind. That's the important part to remember. And then after all that's done, and this one here has been cut already, and you can see this one here has been cut. The original armature, my camera stopped playing the tape, so there's the pile from the original one. So I was unable to put that one on video, so I'm doing another one because I had a couple of these that I wanted to get cleaned up. So anyhow, after that point, all the shellac and whatnot's burnt off, and this has been cut. It's just as simple as put it in a vise or something, more secure. I'm just going to use my foot for camera reasons, video purpose. And it's just a matter of basically working at it like this. It'll relatively come apart pretty simple. Once it starts to come apart, you see it starting to fall apart. Once it starts to come apart, it just basically literally falls apart, which you'll see here in a minute. You can see it now, it's just falling apart. Real simple. When you have two hands to do it with, it's much easier. So you see me struggle with it a little bit. That's only because I'm using one hand. It's really all there is to it, folks. There, all that's removed. Now we'll come to the back side, and here's all that. Now you're going to want to, truffle it around and bang it a little bit, the stuff. Knock off any little bits, pieces, and particles that may be stuck on there. Because when you bring it to the recycling yard to cash in the copper, you want it to be as clean as this. Just bare. So we got that part out of the way. I'll put that aside and clean that up later. I don't need to video that and show everybody. So now there's the rest of it. And when you're cutting, you want to make sure you're close to the steel so you don't get any burrs, which are going to prevent these pieces of copper from sliding out. So the back side of it is about just as easy. I'll use my foot here again. It's a little bit complicated at first until you get it started, because they're kind of intertwined together, and I'll show you here in a minute. You can see the intertwinedness to them, but once you break free a few of these pieces, that intertwinedness kind of, well, it doesn't stop, it just makes it more accessible. I'll show you here what I mean by that. So I pulled out, for this particular one, I pulled out 5 pieces. And you can see how the next piece here is going to realistically just slide right out. Just like that. Because it has the freedom to. So that intertwinedness isn't restricting it anymore. And it's really that easy. The size of these armatures don't really matter. They're all built the same, from the little wee ones to the big ones. And it's pretty much the same principle. If I didn't have the bearings still on here, these pieces I'd be able to pull them out with my fingers. But because the bearing's on there still, it's just creating a little bit of interference. Well, it's just not that much. All right, 2 pieces to go. That's the last piece. This will go into the steel pile for the scrap. And this will go into the copper pile. Pretty simple. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you have not. And thank you very much for those that have.